closer you get to the West Coast, the higher those over-unders go, don't they? We've got a Pac-12 affair with Arizona taking on USC. We got Steve Merrill here, of course, from Wager Talk TV right here on YouTube and wagertalk.com for the complete look at college football and the NFL. You got to catch up with his money management system and the whole deal right there. Steve, there we go. Arizona's a 21.5-point dog. USC, of course, was a similar favorite on the road against Colorado last weekend, gave up a lot of points in the fourth quarter for a backdoor cover.
Yeah, the score is a little misleading. I mean, it depends how you look at it. They're up 34-7 late second quarter, right? So they're routing Colorado. They're doing what they need to. So the question becomes, was it just a fluky, lack of effort in the second half, or is there something wrong with this USC defense? And the reason I say that is because way back in week 0, my first college play of the season, I've had a great season over at wagertalk.com, hitting well over 60% in college and pro football combined on best bets. But the first game I gave out this year was actually USC minus 31. They're up 35 late, and they give up the meaningless touchdown to San Jose State in the fourth quarter, and they win by 28. So you write that off as, lack of focus or whatnot. But then last week, that 34-7 lead becomes just a 7-point win, 48-41. And at some point, they need to turn it back on. And if you look at their numbers for the season, when you factor in all 5 games now, USC is a below-average defense. They're giving up 24 points a game against teams that only average 23. They're giving up 5.5 yards per play against teams that only average 5.2. So I do think there's some concern on the defensive side of the ball, to say the least. Now, offensively, they might be the best offense in the country. 53.5 points a game, 9 yards per play, 11 yards per pass. Every time they drop back to throw the ball 35 times a game, they average a first down and better. So I don't see Arizona slowing them down. And Arizona has been good defensively this year, just 19 points a game, 5.5 yards per play. They're actually the better defense, and they've been a good underdog play over the years as well with this coach. So there's some things that you could say about Arizona. Good dog, good underdog, defensive, better team, catching 3 touchdowns. But my database simulation has USC winning by over 25. There is some quarterback concern for Arizona. Makes it a tough game to project. I think the safest play until we see otherwise with this USC defense is probably the over. And, USC can somewhat get there on their own in these games, and I don't think they take their foot off the gas. So if I'm going to play it, I do think at 21 or less, maybe we start to get some value with the favorite. That we're not quite there. There was mostly 21.5s. I even see some 22s out there. But over 72 is probably the best way to play it. It should be a high-scoring game.
USC was actually up 48-21 and gave up 3 consecutive scores to close out the game. Arizona is playing with its backup quarterback. He got his first start last weekend against Washington, acquitted himself fairly well. They only lost by 7 against the Huskies as roughly a 3-touchdown underdog in that one. Steve Merrill provides his under-the-radar selection for us. Folks, exclusively here at the Voice of College Football, 16-2 against the spread. You can get it at patreon.com/MarkRogersTV or as a YouTube channel member on the main channel, so you don't want to miss that. Steve, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Mark.